Okay, I just wanted to make another video here. This video is going to concentrate on like Latino, Hispanic in the United States. Uh, the way it's pretty much used today, especially Hispanic. Well, Hispanic was started used first. It was started mainly with in 1970. That means they started to use it to group together a growing population segment. Uh, so basically for financial reasons, this would be for companies to target selling goods to, um, a voting bloc so politicians could suck up to, you know. So they started using this term Hispanic, and then later on, I think maybe in the 80s, they started using Latino also, if I'm not mistaken. But I think it was in the 80s that they started using the term Latino. Some people prefer to be called Latino, some Hispanic. I see mainly Latino is the more popular term being used. But out of this grew a mistaken, because the American media tends to have to racialize everything. So, of course, they had to racialize Latino, Hispanic. I.e., create a stereotype of what Hispanics supposed to look like, what they supposed to act like, the music they like, and everything else. Okay, a Latino has no special look. You see these videos on here, sexy hot Latina, this and it's just grouping people together, various racial backgrounds. Latinos, Latinas do not have a unique, special look. Some Latinos are white, some are black, some are mixed race. Some are Asian. You have Asian Latinos too, East Asian Latinos. It's just people coming from Latin America, you know what I mean? There's no special, unique physical traits. You see these things, fat Latina booty and this and that. It's all nonsense. Okay, also, I see some stupid videos on here on YouTube. Like videos called white people trying to speak Spanish. Okay. I mean, you could look them up and stuff like that. Okay, Spanish is not a racial language. In other words, there is not one race that speaks it, just like English. Spanish is spoken by people of many different races, many different backgrounds. Just like English. English is spoken by many different races, many different things. It's not unusual for white people to speak Spanish, people. Just to put this on the record, white people actually invented the Spanish language. It's an Indo-European language. It's related to English. It's related to French. It's related to Greek. It's related to, Dutch. These are all Indo-European languages. They're all related. Though Spanish falls into the Latin category along with French and Portuguese, etc., etc. But if you want to see some white people speaking Spanish, watch Univision and watch Telemundo. Okay, you'll see a lot of white people on there speaking Spanish. All right. Okay, another thing that is overplayed with Latino Hispanic is the so-called culture thing. Yes, of course, it's obvious that people from Latin America all share some kind of cultural traits with each other. I mean, just as people in America do, regardless of your race. Jamaicans speak English. Australians speak English. People from Guyana speak English. And of course, these are some cultural traits, you know, that are shared. Same thing in Latin America. I mean, Uruguayans speak Spanish, Mexicans speak Spanish, you know, but the culture thing is overplayed, because I'm going to tell you right now, a white Uruguayan, actually, you know, Uruguay is like almost 90% white. There's very little, there's not a large Mestizo population there, and there's also a small black population there. Where Uruguay was settled, there were only a small number of native people there. It wasn't really that inhabited. But a white Uruguayan, in reality, let's just say the person immigrates to America. Now, another group would be, like, let's just take Chicanos from East LA. That Uruguayan is not going to have that much in common with Chicanos from East LA. Okay, that white Uruguayan ain't going to have much in common with those Chicanos. Chicanos are usually Mestizos from East LA, from Los Angeles. So the cultural trait thing is overplayed. You know, it's a culture. Yes, it is called Hispanic. Means relating to Spain and its culture. You know, so which permeates throughout Latin America, of course. But like I said, it's overplayed. You know, like I said, Brad Pitt here has some things in common with a Jamaican. You know. But if he goes to Jamaica, he's not gonna be, he ain't gonna have that much in common with Rastafarians over there, you know. You get what I'm saying? But of course, there's some cultural traits. I mean, they both speak English, you know. So that's something that should get out there too. That the cultural thing is way overplayed. There is no one unified culture. Each Latin American country has its own history, its own set of demographics, its own a lot of its own separate cuisines and things like that. You know, that's something that actually one time I asked this person. Actually, it was a friend of a friend. She had this bumper sticker, and it said, "I love Latinos." And I asked her, what is it about being Latino? What does it mean? Like, oh, well, we eat the same food. That's basically what she could tell me. Okay? So the culture thing is a little overplayed, Like I said, it's really more of a special interest group, And it's generally overplayed by the ethnocentrics, people who just want to claim people and, this and that. They're nutty in the head. Okay. Next thing I want to touch on is the white-looking Latino or Latina is another snafu here. Okay, genes all play funny things. Race is not simple sometimes, but let's put it this way: 9 times out of 10, 95% of the time, if you look white, you are in fact white. Now, there's no law that says you have to identify as white, but if you don't, you're just denying your European ancestry. Same thing with blacks. This is the same thing too. The dark-skinned Latino, just looks black. There are black Latinos, black people from Latin America, Those people that do that too, just denying their African ancestry. So that's it for this video. I'll be making more, but that's it for this one.